time for Be in the Driver's Seat with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. Mental health expert Dr. Teresa Moore and community engager Gill Garrett. A Saturday mix of community, cars, credit, and wellness created just for you. Brought to you by Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet of Waterford. Plan your next vehicle purchase or get your credit rolling in the right direction with Regina today. And now, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, Dr. Teresa Moore, and Gill Garrett.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Saturday, everybody.
Hey, what's going on with y'all? How y'all doing today?
Doing excellent.
How y'all doing so early in the morning?
So we got Dr. T. She is here in the studio, but we have 3 new cameras. So let's just say she's in the studio, but you can't see her this morning.
Listen, it's all right.
Yeah.
You can hear me.
Ooh, we can hear her this morning.
Oh, she on that today. She on that today.
That's exactly how I'm rolling in.
But we have a new young lady, a co-host, special co-host.
Yeah, we got a guest.
That's in the studio.
We got a guest.
Special co-host.
We got a guest.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Lakina, what's up?
Hello.
We got a special guest this morning. What's going on? You got listen, you're going to have a long day today, but it's a wonderful day.
Yes.
I'm so excited for what you got going on. I'm so excited for you being here. We got 2 wonderful guests that's going to come in. This is not only March reading month, but this is Women's Month.
Yeah, shout out
and
to
so
other women.
all month we're going to have some powerful women sitting aside the 2 that host this wonderful big show. So thank y'all so much, and thank you for all that y'all contribute to the world that y'all live in and the legends that y'all and legacies that y'all leaving behind. So I'm ready to get this popping. What's up?
Too, yeah. Shout out
What's
to all
up?
the women. Come on.
Huh?
Shout out.
I need one of them hand clap buttons, right?
Well, you need to create one then. Can you just get one? Can you get a button so we can be able to do that?
We got Luke on the behind the scenes right now. I'm
Luke
sure
on the
he
ones
gonna come up with
gotta
nothing. Luke gonna come up with something. You know what I'm saying? Them young Thundercats, man, they keep something in their pocket. He probably got one that's there you go.
Oh, there we
That's
go.
my
There we
man.
go. There we go.
That's my
Yes,
dog.
yes.
That's my dog.
So we're super excited for Women's Month this month. But the great thing about it, sometimes they say behind every good man there's a great women or good women.
For sure.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Is that what they say? So that's why we Dr. T and I decided we're going to keep Gill on for this month, it being Women's Month. And so
I'm so fortunate.
We're gonna keep you on this month. We're gonna
Shout out to Sonya, because really that's the reason why.
That's right. It is.
Thank
that's
you
why.
for my wonderful wife for always standing in the gap for me. I'd be thrown away.
Come on,
in the trash.
Someplace.
But listen, we got our word of the day, the word of the week. And what is that word of the week, Dr. T?
Engage. Gil came up with that word this morning, so I'm super excited about it. And so when he said the word engage, I immediately went to thinking about just engagement, period, how you interact with one another. So I was reminded as a therapist how I interact with my clients. It matters. And engagement really is important. You have to be able to read the room. Before you engage, before you do anything, you have to be able to read the room so you'll know how to respond. So engagement has something directly to do with how you respond to a thing. And then even as a woman of God, engagement, I need daily engagement with Christ. I need daily engagement so that I can be strengthened and prepared for the day. So even before I got up to come out this morning, I was engaged in prayer. I was engaged in conversation with the Lord so that I can be prepared for today.
Oh, my goodness. Lakina, what's up? What's that word?
Yeah, so engage. So I looked it up in a dictionary. It says occupy, attract, involve. So when I think of engage, what's coming to my mind is attract. What am I attracting? Mm-hmm. That's also what I'm engaging in, is what I'm attracting. So if I'm attracting positive, good people, that's what I'm engaging in on an everyday basis, is got positive, empowering business people, like-minded people. So my thing is, what is a thought that I like to think of is, what am I engaging? What am I attracting? if you think about what you're attracting, that's what you're engaging in.
That's good.
That's good. What you got, G?
Well, I'm just going to let you do the rear. Unless you want me to just go ahead and do it. You want me to go ahead and do it?
Yeah, I want you.
It's Women's Month.
It's Women's Month.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So when I think of engagement, I always got to take it to the dealership world, right? To me, engagement is when I walk in the dealership, it's supposed to be, it's engagement. Good morning. How you doing? I didn't sleep with you last night, so let's engage. Let me speak to you. Engagement for me, again, is when I walk through service and I say good morning. Now, when I walk through service, I say good morning to all the 5 service advisors. Good morning. That's engagement. And so when I see my sales manager, my finance manager, it's engagement. You just saw me yesterday. Or if it's Monday, you just saw me Saturday. Or maybe you didn't see me for the weekend. So to me, engagement is engaging with that person. Good morning. Conversation, right? Because you never know when you need someone. So being engaged with somebody is not ignoring that person. And we spend more time at work than we spend at home, with our spouses or with our loved ones, So that to me, that's engagement. Always got to take it back to the dealership world.
Man, awesome. Listen, when I thought about the word, it was about 4 o'clock this morning, right? So
it sure was, because we didn't get that text at 4:45.
Yeah, and it was putting your space in the world, putting your power in the world, putting you in the world, activating all your gifts, engaging in the moment in time, engaging in what's about to happen. We visualize things, we see things that we God kind of whispers in our dreams, and we have a tendency of, sometimes, I know I do, I wake up optimistic and say, okay, what did that mean? But I know I have to engage into that conversation. I have to engage in that thought. And a lot of folks think sometimes we've gotten lazy when it comes to activating who we are in the process.
That's good.
Right? Activating, like, we have to engage. We have to go to it. Like, David didn't beat Goliath with the sheep. Like, he had to go and look. He went and looked and heard the loud mouth of this person downgrading as God. He had to engage in getting the rock. He had to go get the rock to put in the sling. He had to rear his arm back to throw. Like, there's things we have to do to have an active part in our blessing.
That's good.
And so I'm hoping when that word hit me, I'm just hoping that people start to understand now, specifically ending the third quarter of 2024, ending the first quarter, that you start engaging in your blessing.
Well, you know what, Gil, when you spoke about Goliath and David, it just reminded me that you have to use what's in your hand. Like, he had to go and get something, but engagement really is using what you have, engaging what you already have to get what you need or to get where you're going. So engagement really is taking what you have and bringing it to the forefront.
Yeah.
How, like Lakina said, what you're attracting really matters in your engagement. And like Regina said, engagement, just talking to people, just being present in the moment. So that's good this morning.
And stay active.
Yeah.
Right? Once you engage, stay active.
It's really important that you do stay engaged, because you never know when you might need somebody. You don't want to wait until you need somebody in order to actually engage with them.
Yeah, that's good.
It might just take a minute to say hello.
Mm-hmm.
What you got, Lakina? Is it Latina or Lakina? Lakina. Okay.
Also with engage, like you said, talking to someone. So basically communication. Communication.
Yeah, that's good. And communication matters. It matters how you're able to communicate. A lot of people think that they communicate well. We have, they think that they communicate well, but actions show, and also not communication, body language, things like that still communicates. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's good this morning.
So why do people think they communicate well? They think they're real communicators, and they're really honestly not. Maybe they can just be communicators in what they do.
Because they haven't been challenged.
And they think what they understand is what everybody understands.
That's true.
But who can define who is a great communicator? Everybody communicates in their own way.
That's real.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
That's real.
That,
But I think society and individuals, we define how well a person communicates. And so I think it is, I think it's relative. Because you may think you're the best, but you may not be. And I just feel like there's nothing new under the sun. You know what I mean? So, like, there's always someone else that you can glean and learn from.
That's true.
So I just think that we always have to keep ourselves open, because sometimes we think we arrived and we
really haven't. We really
Yeah,
haven't.
That's good.
Yeah.
But what is too much communication?
Oh, yeah. People talk too much all the time.
Right.
So listen, Yumika Jackson said engagement, your approach in life, people or situation it's in all things.
Mm-hmm. And it is.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And it is. But I think with communication, it depends on the rooms that you're in and the situations at that moment.
Yeah.
I think what makes a great communicator is a person who can bend.
Yeah.
A person who can identify the space that they're in and be able to speak that tone or that language in that moment.
I love that.
And I think that's a forever practice. I think that's kind of one of those life things, because as you move throughout your situation, as God grows you in various situations, then you have to place yourself in that, because nonverbal communication is about 85% of communication.
That's it.
So people, who look at that as an obstacle when you say people don't talk, they're talking. You just don't know how to read them yet. So,
or you just not listening.
Or you can't read them. Like,
Yeah.
if they're
Or you
not,
can't read them.
Yeah. But
or see them.
So, like Lakina said, I think we need to do mouth maintenance, period, in communication.
Explain mouth maintenance real quick before we go to break.
Being able to determine what to say, when to say it, how to say it, and sometimes not to say anything at all. Sometimes no voice or no communication is the best response.
So you saying basically the best time is the best thing to do sometimes is just to close your mouth, not
That's
to say
it.
nothing,
That's
just
it.
to walk away.
That's it.
And you still saying something.
And you still saying something.
I've done that a couple times at work. Well, I probably need to practice at some other places too.
Hey, listen, we're about to go ahead and take this break. Our first break right now. As Regina say, we got to pay some bills. We're going to come back with our guests. Be in the driver's seat.
Master Baker Sierra Crudup, owner of Delicious Sweets Bake Shop and Craven Cookies, located at 203 South Washington Street in Saginaw, Michigan, inside of the SVRC Marketplace. If you're looking for delicious sweets, this is the place to stop in. They specialize in homemade desserts and one-of-a-kind custom cakes. They can be reached at 248-836-8080 or dsibakeshop.com.
Hi, Joe Lunghamer here from Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. What kind of deal do you have for us today, Regina?
Well, it's tax season, so I match a down payment up to $1,000 on any new or used vehicle.
So if a customer brings $300,
I'll make it $600.
if they bring $500,
I'll make it $1,000. Just make sure you say, I'm here to see Regina, the Queen of Car Loans.
that's a bit much, isn't it?
It's good to be the queen. Just Google Regina, the Queen of Car Loans.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
Bowman & Associates is a full-service insurance agency here to take the guesswork out of insurance. We offer quotes for auto, home, and life insurance. We also offer renter's insurance and roadside assistance for our clients. If you want an agent that will spend time with you and answer all of your questions without the hassle or rush or hard sale tactics, give us a call at 1-888-204-2766 and let us work for you. We are back. Being a driver's seat, we're so excited. We have our first guest on, Kim Smith Nelson. Come on, Kim. Good morning
Kim. Good morning,
to you.
Kim.
Good morning.
How you doing this morning?
I'm great. I'm excited to be here with you all this morning.
Oh,
We're excited to
yes,
have you.
yes.
Yes.
Listen, this is such a treat. We have a special co-host and we have Kim in the building. Kim Smith Nelson. She is a coach, y'all. She is a real estate guru. Okay, so I'm excited to have her in. And just a little bit of her bio. She has a great approach, y'all. Her philosophy revolves around fostering a supportive and collaborative environment. So she comes in and she knows how to take your need and she can foster it and take your need to the next level. And one of the things she's known of is for her exceptional ability to connect with clients on a personal level. Y'all, that's good this morning. She knows how to connect with you on the level that you're on, and she brings expertise to the table. So welcome, Kim. We're so excited to have you on this morning.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
So you have listeners and viewers looking at you at this time. So tell those that are listening and looking, who is Kim Smith Nelson?
Well, okay. Thank you for asking. But Kim is evolving. She is a mom. She's a grandmother, a niece. I am a business owner. I am a cousin. I am a loyal friend. Not just a friend,
Come on,
but
Deleah.
a loyal friend. And, business owner. I am a member of the Auburn Hills Chambers of Commerce. I am a mentor.
Well, that's
board
what
member.
we're going to talk about this morning, right?
Just wear a lot of hats, yes.
So we're excited. Kim, tell us a little bit about KSN Management.
KSN Management was established in 2020. Yes, everybody thought I was crazy, but, it's been a passion of mine.
Okay.
And I saw the need for it because we were in a time where it was unknown. We were struggling with home ownership and, landlords didn't know what to do. Tenants didn't know what to do. And I just went to work and I'd come up with a number of resources that I thought would help, not knowing because everything was different. It actually, it forced business to do business differently. Yeah. So it was a learning experience for everyone. But I started, and again, 2020. It was during the pandemic. And
Kim, that just, I'm sorry to cut you off. In the pandemic is popping.
I was being obedient. I was being obedient.
Yes.
God said to do it. And I said to him, Lord, do you realize that but you can't compromise with him? No. He said, no, this is what I need for you to do. So it hasn't been easy, but it has been so beneficial to a lot of people. It has. And I've learned a lot. I've grown a lot. I've made a lot of connections, collaborations, partnerships. So, it's been great.
So what inspired you to do that particular business? I know you said landlords, tenants, but what else? Why did you pick that during the pandemic?
That's good.
I have over 30 years in the housing industry.
Wow.
So I have worked for a number of nonprofit organizations. I've worked in their housing department. I was a housing inspector, case manager. I have worn a lot of hats. Again, I too was a landlord myself, but then when the market took a crash in 2008, me, like others, I lost everything. So, I've always had a passion for helping others, and real estate, everyone's going to need somewhere to live.
That's real.
Yeah. So,
Oh man, so you packed so much in there. So with what's happening right now in the country, right? Like they're talking about, a housing crisis specifically in underserved communities, right? So how is your expertise and your expertise being used now? And then how are you offering or pushing because this is your time at this point. The knowledge that you have is so much needed in municipalities. Like, how are you getting yourself and getting the word out and what God told you to do when it was quiet? Now that we're making this noise, how are you impacting it in that particular industry in this experience?
Great question. I don't believe that we're going to have a housing crisis. I think that's the hype to create fear.
Oh, let's go. Come on, let's go. All right. Okay.
And
okay, come on, let's go.
There are, especially in Southeast Michigan, there's a lot of construction. There's a lot of building. There is a lot going on. And individuals, they just need resources,
But Kim, okay, so over the last few weeks, I've been hearing a lot of things. And one of the things is I've been hearing that it is a seller's market. Like, it's a seller's market. So the seller really has the ability to kind of name what they want. And it's because we're consuming and trying to purchase property. Sometimes the seller like, nope, that ain't enough. And so they leaving folks out. So what do you tell your clients who really want a piece of property? They put a bid on it, but they can't get it. Like, how do you keep them engaged?
Okay, so let me just explain. I am not a realtor.
Okay.
I am a real estate coach.
Okay.
But I have an ecosystem that I have created, a network, and that consists of real estate agents, property management companies, mortgage lenders, home inspectors, title companies. So I myself, I am not in a position to sell. I'm not a realtor, but I have a team that I work with.
That's good. So you coaching the team.
Yes.
Okay, this the master coach. She the master coach. Okay. So Gill asked the question, like, what sets you apart? Because I'm looking at this beautiful brochure, right? Mm-hmm. And so what sets KSN apart from any other organization?
I would say my market knowledge and, my sales negotiating skills. And I have a system, a process, and it's different for each individual because there's no, one system fit all for everyone. Everybody's situation is different. It's unique. So business planning and social media marketing, branding, that's the biggest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I like how you say you have that ecosystem. So you kind of make your business a one-stop shop for all your real estate needs. Mm-hmm. So how do your clients like that? So they just come to you for everything and you advise them. Do you go as far as like in staging, interior design, development? How far do you go into coaching them into their real estate field?
Well, it's about getting to know what their needs are. And sometimes they don't know what their needs are, so it's me being able to identify how we can get to their results with the best solutions. Because sometimes they may think that they need something that they really don't need. And why spend money if you don't have to spend money, or spend that money somewhere else that is going to benefit you more? Interior designs, I know someone, and again, that comes back to my ecosystem, making connections, collaborating with other industries and, partnerships, things like that. So, yeah.
I heard you say branding. And so a lot of people are branding and rebranding. And you said social media handles. You talked about that. So talk to us a little bit about how you kind of coach your clients. Like if they're not really, they're not really feeling social media. They're not really feeling, technology. Like how do you coach them into letting them know, hey, you need to move in this direction?
Well, I have to share with them the importance of letting others know who they are and what they do. And so that's the direction we are in today. Social media, everyone's on social media. So they have to meet their customers where they're at. And branding, you want compelling content out there. You want people to notice you and to know that, social media is not just on platforms, but you can do digital, you can do billboards, you can do, there's other ways of advertising. Wow. So it's not just, being on Facebook or LinkedIn or, Instagram, although those help, but there's other ways that you can market yourself and get yourself out there to let others know who you are and what you do.
Wow.
So how can and you talked about marketing and social media. So how can somebody who's listening and want to get a hold of you and say, hey, I found my coach, I found my person. Like, how do they get a hold of you? What's your, give your phone number, Instagram.
Sure,
how do they reach out to you?
I can be reached at 734-299-6372. Or if they want to reach out to me, my email is ksnmgmtpc@gmail.com.
Awesome. So we, and it give us about 30 seconds. If somebody said, hey, listen, you're my coach, I got into this field, in 30 seconds, what would you tell them the first thing that they need to do after they didn't talk to you? After they didn't sign that contract?
After they signed the contract? Well, they need to run those funds to me so that we can get started. But no, most importantly, I'm sorry.
Y'all saw Dr. T. That's why we got these cameras on.
Listen, they didn't see me.
9 times they would think it was me. They saw Dr. T. Y'all is a
But she was like, when you sign that check, we can get started. Okay, that's when it starts, when you sign the check. But yeah, I'm sorry, but no, seriously, we are gonna strategize the best process and just start implementing what we need to do so that we can move forward, because the goal is to have a successful outcome. That's great. If we look at the end before the beginning, we can get there faster. Wow.
Yeah.
So, Kim, tell us again how we can contact you.
I can be reached at 734-299-6372, or you can email me at ksnmgmtpc@gmail.com.
Y'all heard it here first, so we'll be right back after we take this break with Deleah Sharp from Identify Your Dream. Master Baker Sierra Crudup, owner of Delicious Sweets Bake Shop and Craven Cookies, located at 203 South Washington Street in Saginaw, Michigan, inside of the SVRC Marketplace. If you're looking for delicious sweets, this is the place to stop in. They specialize in homemade desserts and one-of-a-kind custom cakes. They can be reached at 248-836-8080 or dsibakeshop.com.
Hi, Joe Lunghamer here from Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. What kind of deal do you have for us today, Regina?
Well, it's tax season, so I match a down payment up to $1,000 on any new or used vehicle.
So if a customer brings $300,
I'll make it $600.
If they bring $500,
I'll make it $1,000. Just make sure you say, I'm here to see Regina, the Queen of Car Loans.
That's a bit much, isn't it?
It's good to be the Queen. Just Google Regina, the Queen of Car Loans.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
Bowman & Associates is a full-service insurance agency here to take the guesswork out of insurance. We offer quotes for auto, home, and life insurance. We also offer renter's insurance and roadside assistance for our clients. If you want an agent that will spend time with you and answer all of your questions without the hassle or rush or hard sale tactics, give us a call at 1-888-204-2766 and let us work for you.
Yo, welcome back to Be in the Driver's Seat. We have we had an awesome time in our last session. Listen, we have Deleah Sharp from Identify Your Dreams here in the building today. I'm not reading off the sheets that normally happen that they give us for the information, because, when you know somebody who didn't put in the ground level work, right? So Deleah Sharp has introduced a program originating out of the pain of the loss of her brother, to help people cope when violence has taken place in their family or amongst them. And how do you deal with that? Who is the team that come to help support that? And so she was the first to do a rally around that in our hometown, Pontiac, Michigan. And this is probably the 13th or is it 12th year? 14. Oh my goodness, Jesus Christ! Right. So, and she takes a particular neighborhood where there has been a large, let's just say, influx or some violence there, to show people that, hey, listen, there is some support when something happens to you. There is some support that you need, that the family needs during that recovery time. And she really impacts that space in the children's space as well, right? Because sometimes they see it firsthand and they lose sight of it. So Deleah took on that march. She's a mom. She is an entrepreneur. She's a power lady. She believes in God. She moves in spaces, those I would like to call them tough spaces to operate in when you're dealing with that type of emotion and that type of grief. So welcome, Deleah, to the show. Glad morning. That you can make it this morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I do appreciate this opportunity. I really don't even have anything else to say. Gil, you laid it out. And I appreciate you all for just allowing me to really exercise my voice and get the word out about Identify Your Dream. So
let me ask you this. So when your brother passed, right, and you heard that news, and you tell this story often, but if you could just share with the listeners and those who are on Facebook, what that did for you and why it prompted you to start the Samuel Foundation, Sharp Foundation. So
when my brother, when we received the news, excuse me, we were actually out of town. I was only 17 years old. So this was a long time ago. And it was devastating. It was an out-of-body experience. I'm gonna be real. You know how you hear things on the news, you stories that have happened, but when it actually knock at your door, that is completely, you're not prepared for that. And so even at 17, there was so many things that was going on. This was actually going into my senior year. And I don't know if we didn't have the talk, even with my mom and my dad. This was actually my mother's third son that she had to bury. And so I don't even think, even still, we didn't have that, hey, the check-in, how are you doing today? We saw my brother's name was Dean. Dean's car was still outside, his room still the same way, his shoes still at the door. And so those were triggers. We didn't know what they were. So when I would see it, I would have that stomach pain or those signs of grief, but didn't know how to express myself. And so fast forward to going through like I said, I was going into my senior year at Pontiac Northern, finished, went 4 years at Michigan State, finished, but I don't think that I ever addressed my grief, my trauma. We just found a new normal quietly and in isolation, and we continued to move. It wasn't until I had my first child, and I started to think about the world that I wanted her to grow up in. And that's when it sort of came back to me. I want her to feel safe. I want her to be able to ride up and down the streets. And I was parenting out of my grief, and I didn't understand, because I'm like, oh, no, you can't go outside. No, stay in here. There was things that I was putting in place, these barriers and boundaries, and I was actually parenting out of my unaddressed trauma. And so that's when I realized, so there was a murder that happened in the city of Pontiac. And it impacted me so much that I said, I want to do something. Because I realized even in and of myself, I hadn't addressed some things. And I said, so it got to be some families that's probably not addressing some things. It's probably some families not having those conversations. And so that's when we first started our first Stump Out Violence, walk, which was on Memorial Day 2011. And so fast forward to year 14, we're still doing that Stump Out Violence march and rally.
Awesome.
How did you actually cope? What did you do to help you heal when you realized that you had some grief that was buried that deep down in you? What did you do?
So first I had to acknowledge it because, excuse me, I started my walk and I remember talking about my brother and breaking down. Now we did our first walk 15 years after my brother was already murdered. You know, he had been murdered 15 years later, prior, I'm sorry. And it got to the point where Kermit, he was the councilman at the time, he used to like, okay, here she go, here, waterworks. And I'm just like, I'm walking away and I'm like, I want to be stronger. Why do I always cry? And I realized that I hadn't really addressed it. So I had to take some personal work.
That's good.
Yeah, I had to do some personal work, got in therapy, and address that because I'm like, I want to be the best I can be for the community that I'm serving, the children that we're now providing this support for. I got to be good.
I'm glad you said that. Now, the therapist in me then rose up, right? Okay. And so oftentimes we put Band-Aids on areas that need stitches, Absolutely. Right? So I'm glad that you were able to go and get therapy. But even years later, it still happened. And so oftentimes we try to put grief in a box. Grief is grief. Nobody can put a timetable on it. You have to allow yourself to stay in the present place so you can feel, deal, and heal, right? And so even today, I know you're impacting thousands and millions all over the world. People know about Identify Your Dream. But how are you still dealing with it today? Because the reality of it is every time you take the mic, you're reliving that. So how are you still dealing with that in 2024?
Thank you for that question. It's funny because when Kim was coming in here and I was like, breathe. So those are things that I tell myself. So especially when I'm about to share my story about my brother, I make sure I'm grounded. Yeah. There's some practices that I've learned over these years that I apply and they work. Yeah. And so this is heavy work. This is not light work. I am an empath. And so a lot of times, not only am I taking on my story, but the children that once they tell me their story, it's on me too. And so I have to find ways to release it. And it's okay. Yeah. It's okay for me to also express myself. And if I'm having an emotional day, because like you said, grief, I would never be healed from the loss of my brother. Yeah. I know that this is still a healing process. And so I may hear his song. He loved him some Biggie. Okay. Yeah. So if that comes on, I'm thinking about my brother. Yeah. And so it may shake me a little bit. I may laugh some days and some days I may cry, and I'm okay with that. We are humans. The feelings that we have makes us human. And so I allow it, however I feel, to go ahead and feel.
So I'm excited because you have given yourself permission.
Yes.
You have given yourself permission to be in the moment. So if that means I need to cry, I need to scream, whatever I need to do in this moment, I'm giving myself permission. And so that is what you're teaching others. Give yourself permission to be present.
Yes.
And feel, deal, heal.
I love that.
So you brought in a few organizations, right? Other organizations to help you to team up. How was it important to activate on a national level and then also bring in the sheriff department and then also bring in other nonprofits to help with this, that partnership, that nucleus, and I think Ms. Kim said it, the ecosystem. How did you come with developing that?
When you think about the climate and culture behind a violent act, it is the police that sometimes the family really don't like.
Oh, they don't like it.
Yeah, so yes.
I got it. You know what I'm saying? It's okay, though.
But also, they're first responding. Yeah. And there's a lot of people with hearts like Gill who serve on those in those departments that I think we need to see them in a different light. We need to see them without the lights, the lights on. We want to see them in the community. And so it was so important for me to bridge that gap. Also, I'm going to be honest, like when we lost Dean, it was very isolating. And this was in the city that I was born and raised in. On the block, my brother was murdered up the street from our house. And so that street got scary. And so what I wanted to do is how do we find safety in a community that caused harm? So what I wanted to do was repurpose community, because like community is not the same. It wasn't the same for me. That trauma changed my worldview of my community. I got to bring it back. So it was really important for me to bring that back.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that. How can someone who's been listening get a hold of you or know somebody who needs this help? How can they get a hold of you? What's your social media handles and contact information?
Yes. So you can find Identify Your Dream on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, Identify Your Dream. Instagram, it's ID Your Dream. TikTok is ID Your Dream. We have a website, www.identifyyourdream.org. You can also find, that would actually, if you go on our website, identifyyourdream.org, it has all of our handles, information, contact information. Please reach out. We are just really trying to help prioritize healing in the community. That is our main goal.
Awesome. In the last 15 seconds before we go to break, somebody just woke up this morning and heard the worst news that a son or daughter is not coming home. What are you telling them?
Breathe.
Yeah. We ain't be in the driver's seat. We'll be right back after this break.
Hi, Joe Lunghamer here from Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. What kind of deal do you have for us today, Regina?
Well, it's tax season, so I match a down payment up to $1,000 on any new or used vehicle.
So if a customer brings $300,
I'll make it $600.
If they bring $500,
I'll make it $1,000. Just make sure you say, I'm here to see Regina, the Queen of Car Loans.
That's a bit much, isn't it?
It's good to be the queen. Just Google Regina, the Queen of Car Loans.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
Master Baker Sierra Crudup, owner of Delicious Sweets Bake Shop and Craven Cookies, located at 203 South Washington Street in Saginaw, Michigan, inside of the SVRC Marketplace. If you're looking for delicious sweets, this is the place to stop in. They specialize in homemade desserts and one-of-a-kind custom cakes. They can be reached at 248-836-8080 or dsibakeshop.com. Bowman & Associates is a full-service insurance agency here to take the guesswork out of insurance. We offer quotes for auto, home, and life insurance. We also offer renter's insurance and roadside assistance for our clients. If you want an agent that will spend time with you and answer all of your questions without the hassle or rush or hard sale tactics, give us a call at 1-888-204-2766 and let us work for you. You are still listening to Be in the Driver's Seat, and we're back. Listen, we have had a power-packed show today. But before we go, we got some exciting stuff happening even today. So our special co-host, Lakina, tell us what's going on today.
Yeah, so today is our crowning ceremony for our young queens that's graduating from Barber Preparatory Academy out of my program, The Treasure Within. And so we have a big celebration for them. They get crowned as queens. They're dressed up in their beautiful ball gowns. They got hair and makeup done. They're picked up in a limo. So they are super, super excited about it.
I'm excited, too, because, I'm going to be in the building tonight. So I'm excited. And our guest, Kim, is going to be in the building. We're part of the mentorship program. Yes. So I'm excited for what's happening. And for all the listeners, if you want to partner, get in contact with the Treasure Within, Lakina, share with the listeners and the viewers, how could they get in contact with you if they want to even come tonight? Can they come?
Well, we're completely sold out. We're over capacity.
Come on, somebody say sold out.
Yeah, so we can't. However, they can go to the website, thetreasurewithinyou.org. Facebook is The Treasure Within You. And on Instagram is _the treasure within you.
So y'all support that. But also, we had an awesome guest that was in here also, Miss Deleah Sharp. You have some upcoming events too. So share with the viewers and the listeners what you got going on.
Yes, so we have our annual Strike Out Violence Bowling fundraiser. It's happening on April 7th. He perked up because we normally give out a trophy for the most strikes. And he has won, and so he's trying to.
Are we talking about Mr. Trust the Process? He won.
Yes. So that's on April 7th. It's at Classic Lanes in Rochester Hills, Michigan, 1:30 to 4:30. So tickets are $25. We're also looking for sponsors for that event, and as well as our 14th annual Stump Out Violence. It's going to be on Memorial Day in the city of Pontiac around 11 o'clock. We get started, and again on our website it has more information.
That is amazing. I'm excited. I'll be attending too. And shout out to Classic Lanes. My brother will be cooking the food that day. Okay. So I'm excited.
Oh, that's what I'm like.
Yeah, Mark will be in the building. So I'm excited. These are some phenomenal events that are happening. And what I love about what Lakina is doing, she's working with the young women, and then you're working with families. So this is community. So this has been a power-packed show. I'm so excited. And then we had Kim KSN Management on. So if you all didn't have your pencils and paper today, I don't know what to tell y'all, because I've learned some stuff and I'm excited to partner with these women. And so, yeah, I mean,
just as being as powerful in y'all networking systems, how do you come up with the events? Like, how do you come up to say that I'm doing this? I'm doing a treasure within, and I get
I'm
it.
a crown. I'm
gonna take a young lady. I'm gonna buy a crown. I'm gonna buy a crown. I'm putting a crown on her. How did you even come up with that?
Well, it's all God inspired.
Come on
it's
here.
Also, something that I wanted for myself, and I often say I never had a birthday party. I didn't go to prom. I didn't go to homecoming. I didn't walk across stage when I graduated from high school. So I wanted the girls to feel and know what it's like to be celebrated, because things might happen in life and you may never get celebrated. So it's a moment that they will never forget, being crowned a queen and being beautiful and being the center of attention.
I love that. And, for all the listeners, if you've never been celebrated, celebrate yourself. Every day you get up is another day. It's another day to win. So celebrate yourself. So I'm excited that you are celebrating them. And then, Deleah, how do you, I love how, the strike out violence. I mean, it just kind of goes with bowling, but how did you come up with these events?
Can I steal? It definitely was.
She said, "Can I steal?" No, we don't steal. We just borrow.
We borrow.
We just
but
borrow.
No, definitely God inspired. Using a little creativity. I have a team that we bounce ideas off of. I've had titles where my team was like, "Nah, that's not gonna work," and so I'm humbled enough to say, "No, okay, let's switch it up." But definitely, creativity and teamwork.
So both of you said something. Talk to me about how important having a team is. So I need you and Lakina to kind of talk about that. So Lakina, I'll ask you first. How important is having a team to help you with the treasure within?
Yeah, having a team is so important. I definitely cannot do it by myself. So that's why I have mentors that's there to help and assist. And even the people that's behind the scenes that helping me putting the whole event together. It was when I first started, I did it myself. But as it evolved and got bigger and bigger, I needed the help. And people, the community, they saw it, saw the vision, caught a hold to it, and began to help. And so you need a team. It's very important because you will run yourself dry if you try to do it yourself. All your energy will be gone if you try to do it yourself. So team is very, very important. You definitely need a team and the right team.
Yes.
And so I was going to ask you, I know you're going to talk about team, but talk about, not just the team, but trusting the team. Yeah, because you said something a lot, if they tell you, nah, how do you, not just the team, but even trusting the team? How important is that?
It's extremely important. When we are trying to build something, and something, I heard a saying that says, if you want to go somewhere fast, you go alone. But if you want to go somewhere far, you go with a team. Yeah. And we have been in the community for 14 plus years, and it is because of who I have surrounded myself with. And yes, there has been times where I had to make those decisions like, okay, this is not working. And so we had to make some adjustments. And, but when you click, when you find that person.
When you got your tribe.
Yes, you have that tribe, and it's not those yes people.
Yeah.
It's
not the yes people.
Yes. So it's not I don't need that. I need to be challenged. I need to be corrected. I need to also be celebrated.
So I'm laughing because I wish y'all could see the queen. Did y'all see what she did?
I think she saw it on camera.
It's not the yes people. And I love that because you need a team that's going to stretch you. Yes. You need a team that can be sandpaper to you sometime. You need a team that's going to help you grow and not just go. Because like you said, if you want to do things by yourself, then go fast. But when you have a team gonna hold your arms up. Mm-hmm. Like Moses had people to hold his arms up, right? And so your team you're only as good a leader as you are with your team. Yeah. Like if you're not a team player, having a team is not gonna work. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited today.
There was a young lady who woke up this morning and said, "Hey, I'm listening to Bids," and she said that I keep remembering the things time after time and over again. You guys work in both of your respective industries and both of your respective businesses. You relive your pain over and over again. Can you tell that young lady or that young man something today that will help them deal with that residual effect of what they're reliving? Lakina, I'll let
in
you
30
go first.
seconds.
In 30 seconds.
Okay. I would say that know that you are worthy and that you are enough. Mm-hmm. And that's the most important thing, and knowing that you're valuable. So when you know who you are, it kind of changes your mindset and your thought process about your own self, knowing like I'm enough how I am and who I am, and those that don't like me, they just don't. Yeah, and those are just not my people.
All right, Deleah.
I think that we need to be honest with ourselves first and foremost. And if you do have those feelings, it's okay. Mm-hmm. So first, it's okay not to be okay. Also, making sure that you're safe. I think so when you wake up and you're feeling sad, am I safe? Is this just a memory, or do I need to check in? Do I need to do something? And I think having those honest conversations with self is extremely important, but it's also okay to feel how you feel, but also connect with someone that can help you along with your journey.
Wow. So guys, you heard it here first.
News you can use.
This is news you can use. We've had a power pack show.
Yes.
Man, so it's been good. Be in the driver's seat. Happy Saturday, everybody.
You've been listening to Be in the Driver's Seat with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, mental health expert Dr. Teresa Moore, and community engager Gill Garrett. Brought to you by Joe Lunghamer Chevrolet of Waterford. Be in the Driver's Seat, a Saturday mix of community, cars, credit, and wellness created just for you. Thank you for listening.